Nobody will ever deprive the American people the right to vote except the American people themselves. And the only way they can do this is by not voting. Franklin D. Roosevelt.
When communing with other humans, there are 3 agreed upon topics one should evade.
Religion. Sex.
Don't do that.
And whether you prefer donkeys or elephants, talking politics
has become as appetite curbing
as downing 6 unseasoned snails like not even pepper.
Just salty glares savored over a 3-course meal of
doubt,
difference,
division. Election season has separated families
in ways the game Monopoly could only dream.
Playing our social media version of Connect 4,
blocking or unfriending,
practicing disconnection blindly,
playing Operation, navigating which topics we can touch on
without setting off our
"you are clearly an idiot"
alarms.
It seems everything today has become politicized.
Red hats,
masks,
virtual classes,
live sports,
protesting,
boycotting,
boats,
shaking hands,
Gouda cheese.
Gouda cheese?
I mean, probably. Going to Disney World. It seems there's a beauty or a beast in everything.
Especially voting. Even if whoever we want to win wins, currently,
it feels like America is losing itself.
I was in elementary school the first time I heard the phrase, voting doesn't really matter, years before the anthem that Black Lives Do, years before partisan and polarizing came to mean the same thing, years before I cast my ballot for any ideology. I understood that voting was so much more than just checking a box, a mark corresponding to a flawed human that, despite best intentions, will make mistakes. We will all make mistakes. Our country needs leadership. It's our job to elect it. Since the beginning of defining democracy, voting has always been a monumental metaphor, a figure of physical speech embracing the idea that one action can influence generations, that a voice and a vote are actually similes, embodying the lungs of this country as it tells its deep breath of a story. Our votes exhale a hear me to a country founded on the standing that every life, every narrative, deserves to be counted.
When I first came to the States, they called me refugee, labeled me alien, told me I couldn't vote, as if 33 years of residing here has no voice. Voting, voicing, validation matters so much this country demanded it be protected. And somehow along the way, my fight to feel equal fizzled. Feared being a bother, victimization, another black man complaining about the system, so I stayed quiet, thinking my native nuance would be considered foreign, unassimilated. So instead, I learned it all, the executive, legislative, judicial, looking for olive branch, but somehow I feel hung out by all of them. The truth is, I vote every day. I vote to live in this country. I vote to be present. I vote to love the people around me. Voting to me is deciding to do laundry. It's bone in over boneless. I vote not to wear sandals with socks. I've been practicing voting for as long as I can remember, practicing like a redshirt senior, waiting to play the game, thinking my native experience and my existence may never get called in. And what's worse is knowing that many won't vote, thinking that their ballot in November has no weight, a belief that weighs heavily on immigrants whose voice remains muted. Voting is a cornerstone of this country, necessary for carving our paths forward.
But not only must we vote politically, as human beings,
we must vote daily. Vote not to only see yourself in solely your beliefs.
Vote to honor this country's melting pot identity.
Vote to respect and appreciate others.
Vote to only comment constructively.
Vote to see our shared humanity.
A vote is not only a choice between 2 candidates.
It's a decision between 2 characters.
The you that operates solely on self-interest.
Or the you that considers the other.
The different.
The soft-spoken. The discriminated against. And yes, even the intolerant.
Our country's character is the ballot we cast constantly.
It's the elections that occur daily.
Voting is the cornerstone of our humanity.
So please, vote.